It's funny. We were during the break. By the way, did you see that Jamin Davis was picked up?
I did. He made Green Bay's practice squad. I did see that, yes.
Right.
We kind of assumed that, right?
Oh, I thought
That
so. I
someone
was
would
actually
pick him up.
surprised that it took that long. But, it is what it is. He gets picked up, see if he gets an opportunity to get called up, get to play at some point. I would think he would. Before the show started, these was kind of, he was smashing me a little bit. He was like, this is a Super Bowl team. I don't know. What's wrong with you? This is a Super Bowl team. You got to get more excited.
Speaking of the Commanders?
Yes.
Wow.
Well, I was trying to
He's trying to get
poke
me all
holes in
fired
his
up.
logic.
Okay.
Because he thinks the Ravens are a Super Bowl contender.
Well,
But-
I've thought it all year.
I know, but
They're
I
my
think
pick.
I think the Commanders offensively they're not as good as the Ravens, but defensively they're better than the Ravens. And I don't think they're that far off offensively. So I don't know why, if you're calling the Ravens a Super Bowl contender, you're not calling the Commanders a Super Bowl
Well,
contender.
I just don't think that we've proven enough yet defensively against good teams. Because we have played.
You held the Ravens to 30. I mean, look what the Bucks did. Look what the Cowboys did.
Well,
Look
I don't
what
think that the game against the Ravens was bad. I just thought that they were a class above. I don't know. I don't
Well,
think.
do you feel like any team that gets to the playoffs is a contender?
I guess.
I don't.
No,
I
you
don't
don't.
think
You
so.
don't. You don't
Really
because
think
you're
that,
writing them
but,
off.
I mean, you're in the hunt.
You're in
you
the
only got
hunt.
to win 3 or 4.
You got to
whatever
get
it is.
you got some good things have to happen.
It's happened before. I referenced it yesterday.
Now maybe the 7 seed, since they're gonna have to play all road games, it's more difficult. But if you win a division and you're hosting a game or two, I can see why you feel that way.
They're the 2 seed right now.
They are the 2
And then if the Lions get knocked off, you could be hosting an NFC Championship game.
Well,
Right now.
It is getting to the point where when you start stealing wins like you did, not to say that we didn't deserve to win, but, that was a game that was slipping through our fingers, right? And we were able to hold on.
No,
and
but
win it.
Super Bowl seasons, they have wins like that.
That's what I'm saying.
that's
Once
why-
you start to stack those up, can change the trajectory of your season.
That's why I was all in on the Ravens last year. Is they had a win that was exactly like that, where they beat the Rams. They had a walk-off punt return in overtime.
And you're
those
thinking this is
like
our
that's
year.
those are the type of wins that you stack up that you just go, well, this is our year.
Right. I don't know.
Trying to get him to buy in.
But in the NFC right now, if you say, all right, well, Detroit's clearly the best team because they've scored a ton of points and they're killing teams.
And they were there last year.
Yeah, and they were in NFC Championship last year. But if you take all the other teams and kind of just put them in a bowl and just pick one, of the teams that are, potential
I know.
playoff teams.
Well, that's why I'm trying to fire up Eric. Is
Yeah.
because
You could probably say, all right, they're just as good.
He's calling the Ravens a Super Bowl team, and to be honest with you, the Commanders are just as good, if not better.
Maybe it's just that
It's just going to come down to those Eagles games, I think.
I just think that we're still the newbie, and we've been 6-2 before and swooned. We just got to prove that it's different.
Protecting his heart a little bit.
Yeah, I just think it's crazy to think that we could win a Super Bowl this year.
I've been saying
just
what
think that's
Jason just
crazy.
said, that I feel like outside of Detroit, you want to put them in a bowl, whatever
And you just pick one.
you want to say, is I feel like they're in a group of teams that I don't know that the Packers are better than the Commanders, or I don't know if the Commanders are better than the Packers. But there's a bunch of teams like that. Throw the Vikings in there. You can throw in a couple other teams, the Eagles.
The Falcons.
They're in that group.
Yeah. 49ers, if McCaffrey comes back, is 100%.
I know,
They
but I'm
could
just
turn
saying,
around.
if the Lions lose this week, then the bloom is off the rose on the Lions, and then
It's just for 1 week. I mean, the Lions are going to lose 3 or 4 games this year.
That's going to be a tough. At
They
Green
might
Bay.
not lose 3 or 4 games. 4 games seems like a lot. That team is just hitting on all cylinders right now.
I'm just trying to get Eric to start the bandwagon.
Right.
I'm trying to hype him up.
No, I'm very excited. I haven't been this excited. I told you since '91.
I know. Well, I'm trying to use your logic to your advantage.
Right.
I'm trying to use your Ravens logic.
Well, I just think the
Towards you.
Ravens are more of a proven commodity. I just think they're more, of a, even though their
Well, they
defense
are.
is markedly off from what they typically are. I don't know. I just feel like we need a few more quality wins. If I look at what we've done, I feel like I was telling Drabby this. I feel like our most impressive performance, we've had a few of them, but I think it's probably the win over Cincinnati, even though their record isn't that great. Maybe Arizona, but yeah.
Well, I think the Steelers, if they beat the Steelers at home, that would be a really good win, just based on the
Very
Steelers
solid.
defense. I mean, Steelers defense, they don't allow 20 points. I mean, they get after the quarterback. Watson a beast. Secondary is good. So that would be a really good win.
So, but
and then they got to play Philly.
Is
So
this
those
Giants
back-to-back
game a
weeks.
trap game because everyone's looking past it? Is this the classic trap
I
game?
guarantee you, Dan Quinn and the staff are not looking past.
No, I know
it.
they're not, but fans.
I don't even think fans are just taking a road win in the division for granted.
So when you look at what they've done so far, so they're 23rd in the league in passing yardage cakes. Obviously, their rushing attack is taking a hit with no Saquon. They're only getting about 108 yards per game on the ground, so they shouldn't be a huge
Plus,
problem for
Tyrone
us.
Tracy goes into concussion protocol, so Devin Singletary steps back in.
Yeah.
I mean,
to
they're only
start.
scoring. They're scoring less than 15 points per game.
Yeah,
Okay.
their
Yeah, they're
offense
not
is
good.
pretty putrid.
Pretty dreadful. They're giving up 22. That's like mediocre. That's like in the middle of the pack.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad. It's probably right around where we are on that. They're just really challenged offensively.
But like you said, they always play Washington tough.
Absolutely.
But this is a game that
But this is a home game, right?
this is
No,
in,
this
in
is
New
in
York.
New York.
Oh, this is in New York. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm right. I'm looking at the Giants. Yeah, going to New York is always difficult. So I don't know. I think obviously if you want to be considered like a serious contender, you obviously have to win this game.
Got to beat the bad teams.
If you lose it, it's a huge blemish. It's a huge blemish on your
It's not
postseason
great.
aspirations.
It's not great if you drop one to the Giants, who can't get out of their own way offensively.
Right. Is it what's the status of Malik Neighbors? Is he good?
playing.
He played last week.
yeah.
He's
He's
7
good.
for 71.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so he's good.
Slayton
way,
had a big game, right?
I may have to reassess my take on the Manning cast because Eli did a really good job pointing out toward the end of the game when Daniel Jones didn't motion over the tight end to help block T.J. Watt, and then T.J. Watt
stripped them.
strip sacked him and
Yeah.
recovered the ball. And Eli's he's like, you're gonna leave T.J. Watt alone, and single
Yeah.
blocking here,
The right
He's
tackle
like,
had no
Why
chance.
didn't you bring the tight end over to help?
Yeah.
Pointed it out basically in real time. Might have to start watching that.
No,
over
those guys-
Saw they
over the
also-
standard
Those guys
Well,
are
why
very
isn't-
savvy
They're
when they're
dialed
locked in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why
they're
isn't
savvy.
their offensive coordinator always having? Why you should double T.J. Watt every down?
Agree.
I saw they also
Every
pointed
down.
out at the
Yeah.
end of the game, I think it was this past game that they covered, that on first down towards the end of the game, team got like 8 or 9 yards. And so the very next play, on purpose, the defensive coordinator put 12 players on the field because you can't decline that penalty. It's before, and so that made it a first down, and they didn't want the downs to be milked. They wanted it to move on to the next, so now it's a first down so they can get the ball back quicker.
But
I guess teams are starting to do that. They're using that kind of loophole in the rules where it works to their clock advantage to do a penalty at times.
But I would think that this game is you've got to target this game. You have to beat. It's huge because it's a division game, but it's the worst team in the division. They know the Giants play them tough, and then the Steeler game. It's an AFC team. It's not as big because the Eagles are the week after. So I would say that this week and then the Eagle game are the two biggest games of the next few.
I mean, it's funny. I think we talked about it yesterday. You don't really think of it in these terms, but part of being 6-2 means, especially the way they've done it, they've won 6 of the last 7.
Yep.
Yeah.
When was the last time we've won 6 of the last 7?
I can't recall.
I mean, it's crazy. And then we should be heavily favored. You look at the stupid matchup predictor on ESPN. I think it's got us 65, 70% of the time.
that seems heavy.
We should win this
I
game.
mean, it was a 21-18 game, and that was a game where I thought the Giants were in position to win. Remember, Neighbors dropped that ball
Yes.
where
They got
they're
lucky.
driving,
Yep.
and their field goal kicker was out,
Correct.
right? But I even think they could have used
Good
the
know.
field goal kicker in the short situation, which they opted not to do. But they were going for 2-point conversions every time. But still, they were in position, and Neighbors has that huge drop on the sideline, which would have been a first down.
Well, think about the breaks.
They were fortunate in that game.
Think about the breaks that Washington's gotten. Obviously, you just pointed out the Giant game with Gano going out. So that completely changed what the Giants wanted to do. Neighbors drops it, and they get a Hail Mary. It's just one of those years, man. Just things are going that way.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a game you have to win.
This is a game,
but you can't take them lightly.
You can't take them, especially with Daniel Jones' success against us.
You just can't.
In previous years. And, you know, Cakes has been loving Malik Neighbors all year, and he showed you he could be a special player. Slayton, you know, has been effective. Wan'Dale Robinson, he's got like 72 targets. He's got as many targets as Neighbors.
He's kind of slowed down in the past few games, but Slayton has had a bigger role. Like, he's always kind of like the forgotten guy in that wide receiver room, but he's productive when they need to lean on him.
I think the thing that we talked about yesterday, I think we'll have an answer on it, which was, is the defense really getting better? And one thing that I will look at is, in the very first game against the Giants, all right, Daniel Jones was good. He had 2 touchdowns. Devin Singletary gashed him for 95 yards on just 16 carries. He was averaging 6 yards a pop.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'll keep my eye on.
The
if
Commanders have shown
Singletary,
they can be run on.
if Singletary gets shut down, then I'm gonna be like, okay,
right,
this is a much better defense.
Here's the one thing
I saw Baldy, real quick, and Baldy I think we'll have on the show tomorrow, Brian Baldinger. He had a breakdown of Johnny Newton and the impact that he was having.
Yeah.
Dude, Newton looked like next level on this team.
Well, that's why Adam Peters.
He looked like the
desperate to
best
get him.
of Jonathan Allen and the best of Deron Payne.
Yeah.
Like the
I
clips
saw it.
that Baldy was showing, I mean, he was just the ball would be snapped and he was already around.
Well, that's why he
the
had like
offensive
an
lineman.
89 rating on PFF.
Yeah.
I mean, he balled out.
Yeah, he had a great game. Here's the thing about the Giants. Daniel Jones has been sacked 25 times, second most in the league. So you can, and he's been hit a bunch of times.
They only got him
You
once in the first game.
Yeah, but they're playing much better up front. Like they're getting after the quarterback a lot more frequently than they did in the first few weeks. So I think that could be huge. Get after Daniel Jones.
All right, let's go to our guy John DePompa. Wants to chime in on this whole deal. John, what's up, buddy?
Hey, boys. How we doing?
Good.
What's up,
What's going
John?
on?
Hey, while I was being screened, Drab admitted to me in a moment of weakness that he believes JD5 is the guy.
Oh, he did.
OEB.
Nice. I like you
I
ratting
made
him
that
out.
up.
This is secondhand
I
information.
like you.
Hey, John,
I'm so
did you enjoy? I feel like you would have enjoyed the Stolen Valor segment where guys are
I did
battling
enjoy
over.
that. I can't remember the donk's name, but he was funny yesterday.
Right,
he was
right,
pretty
right.
funny, and I feel
Chad.
bad. I mean,
think his name
Shane.
was Chad.
You know, Shane deserves the public shaming. I mean, he's a liar and fake news. And yeah,
Right.
Shane, I'm just, I don't know who you are, but you're disgusting. So, all right.
Right.
Yeah, hey, I just wanted to point out a simple fact, and this is why I think EB and us Redskins fans are hesitant to go all in. A, we're in the early parts of a rebuild, so we're ahead of schedule. But B, in the history of the NFL, a rookie quarterback's never even made it to a Super Bowl. Never even been to one. So I think that's why there's that hesitation. Because this came up last year with C.J. Stroud, and people were kind of breaking down the Texans' chances in the playoffs. And, yeah, a rookie quarterback's never made it to the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
So, but now, as Drab was saying when I was on hold, if anybody can do it, JD can do it. But
Is that true?
yeah,
Was
I don't
David
know.
Woodley a rookie when he went to the Super Bowl, or
You
was
like
he
that,
like a
Drabby? Or
second-year
Valerie?
guy? Remember David Woodley when he went to the Super Bowl
Brock
with the Dolphins?
Purdy made it to the NFC Championship. but
maybe
According to Google, a rookie has never taken a team to the Super Bowl.
being
Okay.
fact-checked in real time. It's like a presidential debate.
Except we give you accurate fact checks.
There you go. Boom.
You knew that was coming.
I did.
Thanks, John.
All right, John.
Thanks a
So,
lot.
hey, Drabby, do you want to defend yourself, or
With what?
did he expose you?
No, he's doing a bit. He's trying to get
Yeah,
under
you
my
can tell he's
skin.
lying.
Don't fall for that.
I thought he was being
Mr.
truthful.
Gullible.
Well, I mean, it sounded like something.
You believe anything?
Well, I believe that I'm stunned that you don't think he's the guy. That's what.
No. It's you started with, is he special? That's
think
how
he's-
this whole thing. Is he your guy? Clearly, he's your guy.
No, like for the next 10 years.
Anything can happen. You know,
Dak-
it's
Dak's-
special.
Yeah, Dak is Dallas's guy.
Yeah.
To
To me,
I
that means
think he's-
nothing.
Yeah.
To me, that means nothing. Being your guy means nothing.
Okay,
Woodley, by the way, that was his third year, I believe.
third year. Okay.
Yeah.
And Big Ben was second year.
Yes.
Just remember, Woodley was very unproven. It was like kind of shocking that he was there. But okay, third year. All right. Yeah, special. Yeah, I do think he's actually special.
Who has the in-show read?
You
I
said that to everybody.
You told all
sorry.
DC that.
Didn't
yeah.
you know how to? You don't know how to use.
I hit the
talk
wrong
back?
button. I hit
You
the
hit
wrong
the wrong
button.
Who has the end show read? That's his question for you.
I think I give it to Cakes or JP.
Oh, it's
I don't
either
see
you
it
or
over
me.
here.
Main Street Bank and show read.
It's no big deal. If you have it, read it. If you don't, we'll do it next.
We'll fit
break.
it in somewhere.
We love Main Street Bank.
Love
Put
'em.
their team in your office.
Exactly.
Love Main Street
It's a
Bank.
half in show read.
Yes.
Maybe a quarter.
All right.